Welcome back to the Closing Room AZ. I'm your host, Jesse Moreno. I'm a realtor and investor, and thank you guys for joining me today. It's always exciting to be here and be able to share with you guys the insights, what's going on in real estate. If you guys are looking to buy or sell a property, make sure you guys reach out to me, give me a call, hit me up. Either way, would love to help you out with your next transaction. And a quick shout out to our host today, Drake's Title. They sponsor my podcast. Drake's Title's in multiple locations. They're in Phoenix. They're in Nevada. They got numerous stores. So if you guys have any questions, need any assistance, make sure you guys reach out to them. Best way to reach out to them is to go to their website, drakestitle.com, and just give them a call, and they could help you out with any of your title needs, whether you're need them for closing, for an escrow service, or whatever it may be. Give them a call, and they'll walk you through that process and help you out. Other than that, we are going to jump right into today's podcast.
Nice, brother.
We've got Ignacio Ochoa. He is the business development manager here at Drake's Title, and I asked him to interview me. I know people have been asking, so what about Jesse, man? When are we going to find out about who Jesse is as a realtor, as an investor? Some questions. So I told Ignacio, well, no, Ignacio, man, why don't you ask me the questions instead of me doing all the time the interviewing? You could ask me, and I'll do my best to answer some questions for people here. So,
well, Jesse, I'm really comfortable now, bro. I'm really relaxed, bro. You notice I'm not sweaty, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell everybody the reason he's telling you that is because we did a podcast on him, on Ignacio, and he was nervous.
I was nervous,
right?
Bro. I was sweating. I was like trying to fan myself, man. I was like hyperventilating over here, bro.
Right. Well, hopefully I don't start breaking the sweat on my side here. But
hey, man, rapid fire, heavy duty questions here,
right?
Bro. So
you got some questions for me?
Yeah,
all
absolutely,
right, man.
But so Jesse, I met you probably it's been about a little bit over a year, maybe about a year or so. Has it been? Or?
Yeah, maybe a little bit over a year.
So I think you were on one of our listing tours when I first met you, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I was all like, man, I've been trying to talk to Josh and get a meeting with him, and he always says, let me talk to my dad, Jesse. And so when you were in that tour, I was all like, I finally got Jesse here, man. So after that, we just kind of hit it off and started working together, man. And one thing that I really, really like about you, man, is that you're always kind of putting yourself out there to grow and to help. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
So, like when you come to our classes, you're always involved. You're interacting, right? You're asking questions and stuff like that. You always want to learn about our services, what we have, and how it can help you. And you're always offering suggestions, right? What we can do and what might work and stuff like that. So I really, really appreciate it, man.
I appreciate that.
I wonder, like, what about Jesse, man? What is Jesse? What's his background? What does he do, man? Because you know what I mean.
All right.
It's like a mystery here. So, tell us a little bit, man. Like where did you grow up?
Man, all right. Well, I'm not a native to Arizona. I'm actually from Los Angeles. I'm from Southern California. I was actually born and raised in East Los Angeles, so I'm from that part of that neighborhood. Everyone's kind of sometimes says you're from East Los Angeles, East Los, or whatever, however they want to brand it.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up there as a little boy. That's where I was raised until I was a little older, maybe my junior high school age, and I moved out to the outskirts of LA County.
To the nice areas.
You know what? It was totally different. I'm not going to lie to you, man. It went from primarily 99% Latino culture, right, to now we got more Caucasian. I moved into this city called Rolling Heights.
Okay.
In fact, I went to high school there. I graduated from high school in the city of Rolling Heights, and it was primarily more Caucasian, and it did have some minorities in there, very little. But that's kind of where I grew up. And then as I got a little older than that and bought my first home, I happened to move to a city called Fontana, and that was kind of where my last property was at that I lived in before moved out here to Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. What made you move out here to Phoenix?
Yeah, a great question, man. So we came out here in 06, I think it was. We were looking to open up another location. So by trade, so everyone knows, as a realtor, I was also a broker in California. I had my own agency, my own brokerage, and I had a mortgage division as well. So we had Moreno Realty and Del Sol Mortgage. And so in order to open up another location out here in Phoenix, since it's a brick and mortar state, we had to come out here.
Open up shop.
Open up shop, yeah. So I figured, well, I'll come out here, I'll do that. While I still had my team out there, I had my managers at my stores and my agents, and then things changed. The market crashed in 07.
Yeah.
So during the 2 years I was out here
08,
building
I
up.
think it was, right?
08, yeah, late 7,
Yeah.
maybe early 08. Yeah, the market crashed, and then things went south pretty quick in the real estate business. So I figured, well, I'm out here. I love Arizona. I love the just what's going on here, the development and growth. And I figured, well, let's just keep going and see what we could build out of this place. And so we stood behind.
That's awesome, man. So what, I guess, what drives you outside of money, of the finances, right? Because you talk about moving over here,
Sure.
starting up your office out here. What drives you other than that?
Man, so it's not money, and money's not really, to be honest with you, money's not what really drives me. That's my profession. I'm a realtor.
It's nice, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and I do great at it.
Right.
It's my profession. I've done it since. I'm gonna date myself here, you guys, and you guys can see it with the color of the goatee here, of the beard, so forth. But I've been doing real estate since the mid '90s, so I've been doing it for a while. But what drives me is really more family and my faith, right? So, and Ignacio probably doesn't know this as much because I don't. One thing I don't do a lot of when I go and do business, I don't talk about politics and I don't talk about faith. But you bring it up, and I like the audience to know.
Nice.
So family is important to me. My faith is much more important. I'm a Christian believer, and I've got a strong relationship with Christ in my life, and I think that is what drives my family. Helps me to be a better man, a stronger person in my faith, and allows me to be the parent, the husband that I am with my family, and that's what drives me, man. I think work-life balance is important, but family is really key. Happy family is when you have a great family and a happy family, man, you get through any kind of hurdles in life, and everything is a laughter. We laugh about everything. We enjoy it. We never take life in a serious way, I guess, maybe.
Right. Or at least not too serious.
Yeah,
right?
not too serious, man. I mean, life is short, so you got to really enjoy it. But thanking God for everything that you have and being blessed with it, man, it's what's important to me.
Right, and that's awesome, man, because you have to be grateful, right? You have to be thankful for what you have, man, because it could be a lot different, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every morning is a blessing, man. You wake up and some people don't wake up, so you got to take that day and kind of make the most of it. Thank God for waking up and, carry on.
Yep,
day,
absolutely. And you have to have a balance in what you do every day, right? So, I don't know if you can ask me these questions, but I'll throw it out there right now. So, my days, in the morning when I wake up, obviously it's just my waking up and thanking God for this another morning to get up and do what I got to do, and then get with my family. And, being self-employed gives me a lot of freedom to do a lot of things, right? For example, I get up and I make breakfast for my family, my grandkid. Now I have another one they just arrived a couple days ago. Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, I've got another little boy.
Nice.
Ezra is his name. So I have an Isaiah and an Ezra in our lives now. But as a grandfather, as well as my day kind of goes like that. I wake up, give God thanks for this day, focus on what's next. Make a little breakfast for my family. I'm an avid bike rider. Mountain bike rider.
Really?
Yeah, man. I get out. I got a great bike, and I get out on the trails, and I'm out, doing mountain bike riding.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So
I actually tried. I was talking about it yesterday, man, and I try to do mountain biking, right? Because I know some people that do mountain biking. They go out and they do mountain bikes. They go out to the routes and stuff, and out there in the desert, whatever hills, and do bike riding. Well, first time I tried bike riding, man, I was so weak from my legs, dude. I think I fell like 7 times, dude.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, man. I mean, I give it up to you because that takes up a lot of energy there, man.
It does. Your whole body, man. It's not like regular. It's not like riding on the streets,
right?
And cruising anywhere like that. Once you're on the trails, the jump, the bouncing, the movement, it works every part of your body.
Right.
So you definitely got to be in somewhat of a good shape to do it. But I love it. I got introduced to mountain bike riding by a good buddy of mine. He's retired. Phoenix PD, but he got me into it, and I would go out with him, and we would get some trails. And he's an avid rider. And I said, you know what, I could do this, man. I'm really liking this. And before you know it, man, whether I was going out with him, riding, or whatever the case may be, I get out on my own and enjoy it. It's time to reflect, quiet time too. You're out there listening to nature. I don't know, man. I got to tell you that if you get into it, you got to jump all the way into it and do it.
I believe you, man,
because it's good. You like it.
Yeah, it takes some dedication, man. So, so back to your real estate career, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you get into real estate? I mean, because you're
Sure.
coming from East LA, right? You said East LA.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was tough. It was rough out there, man. So
It was.
what made you get into real estate?
Man, so my high school sweetheart, her mom was in real estate. She was a realtor, had her own brokerage, and when I bought just watching her and seeing the things that she did got me motivated, and of course a little bit of counsel and direction from her as well.
Right.
She's a very wise person. She would say, hey, you would do great in this kind of business. What you're doing now is okay, is fine, it works. But I think, if you got into real estate, you could do great. And she, believe it or not, man, she kind of helped me right through the whole process. Not just to get my real estate license, but she also encouraged me to say, you know what? It's time for you to get your broker license too. Open up your own store. Stop working for somebody else. And so she was the support and motivation to kind of, what it kind of drove me to get to that, to be a broker.
Right. So when you started doing it, when you started real estate, like what was that moment that you were like, this is for me. This is what I want to do.
When I got my first home.
Really?
Yeah, I was a youngster,
was
man.
Was it the commission or was it like the help, dude?
You know what, dude?
Come on, be real, bro.
It wasn't the commission because I didn't get it. She got it.
Okay,
my mother-in-law got the commission.
You got free lunch.
I got the advice and the direction. But I think when I got the house, man, I said, you know what? And just seeing her happiness of being a realtor, that was the moment. Man, I'm like, I'm a homeowner.
Right.
You know what? I could do this, and I could get into this business. And I don't know, man. I think that's really that was the transition right there, the moment.
There's always that one moment, right? That you're like, it's like that aha moment that you're like, this is it, dude. This is
when I got my home, and maybe not exactly when I got my home, to be honest with you. Maybe it was during the time I was buying my home when she was showing me different properties, and we finally landed on the property that we did. That was the defining moment for me. That was like, it's time.
So what's the specific niche of, or the type of client that you work with? Like what client base? Do you have a specific client base that you kind of want to focus more on, or?
Sure. No, I don't really. I love to help out anyone that's looking to buy a property. So whether it's whether I'm working with people who are looking for investment properties or just looking for a residential home to get into, I love to help them all. I think I get maybe a little more passion motivated about it when I'm helping out a first-time buyer, just seeing the expression in their face. I did a transaction, I think it was last year or a year ago. Time flies, so it could have been a couple years ago. No, actually, it was last year, but I had two young people, two different buyers. And when I say young, I'm talking like 20 years old.
Okay.
The youngest one was just turned 18.
Oh, okay.
18, 19. In fact, we use Drake's title,
That's
so
awesome.
for our title.
Man.
But just their first home and just the excitement and then the look in their eyes and me getting involved to get them into that, because I wasn't just their agent, I was also their advisor in that process. I felt like the parent.
Right.
I felt like dad. Tell them, look, do this, do that. Right.
And that's really important, man, because I think a lot of people, especially young people, right, at that age, they want to be homeowners. But sometimes they just don't have the guidance, or they don't have the people kind of showing them what they need to do. So it's really cool that you did that for them. And not only that, man, but I think, because of that, now they're going to be so thankful for that, they start maybe referring their friends, or maybe later on when they are ready to sell that house or buy another one, they're going to think about you because you're the one that helped them put in.
And it happens, man. I mean, I from helping out those people, those clients of mine, in return, I've got some leads from that. And I wasn't doing it for the leads, to be honest with you, man. It was just more so that's what drove, that's the excitement and the joy that I had helping out the first time home buyer, the young person.
Right.
The older people, man, for the most part, they kind of know what they want and they're set in their ways and whatever. And so I'm representing them, and my part is more so just making sure all the legal piece of the transaction is being covered and that we're not missing anything.
Right.
Because there's a lot of work behind. It's not just get a realtor and get it done, right? I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. And so we got to make sure that we are taking care of that buyer or that seller that you represent. Right. And so there's a lot of moving parts, right?
So with that being said, like, what's the most, I guess, what do you think people misunderstand the most about realtors? Like, what do you think it is about realtors that, because not a lot of people trust realtors, bro. They're like, you know what I mean? Even though you're trying to guide them, and they're like, I don't know, bro. It's like lawyers and then realtors. You know what I mean? Like, so what is it, man?
Yeah, man. That's a good question, and that's a hard question because every person's a little bit different on what they think about realtors. Right. But in my perception, from speaking with people and what I get from them, man, I think they think of us as kind of like car salesmen.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, they're in it for the commission. Right. They're just in it to take, just to show us whatever, get us into it so they can get paid. Right. And that's far from the truth, man. I as realtors, man, we're going to get paid, but there's a lot behind it to get to our commission. Right. Right. And I mean, we could spend 20 minutes talking about different disclosures that protect the client, whether it's a buyer or seller. And we could talk about the process, right? I mean, this could be another show, man. I tell you, we could talk about the home inspections and how you have to deal with the inspector on whatever they find. Right. I could talk about the appraisal, if it doesn't appraise right, talking about dealing with the lender. Right. I was going to say that, man. A lot of people don't see that, sometimes in the back end of it, like you're still negotiating, like not negotiating, but you're still having to deal with the lender, the other agent, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of moving parts, like you said. There is. But let me give myself a little pitch. I don't know. Let me tell you guys, this.
So let me ask you real quick before you, because so that's the misunderstanding, right? So what is it about you that separates you from like everyone else, like all these other realtors?
All right, great question, man. Because I'm glad you interrupted me because I was going to tell you about that. Okay. What makes me different from other realtors? Right. And not to say that other realtors don't know what they're doing, man. They do a great job. You got to give everybody credit in this business. Right. It's a tough business, but I'll speak for myself and what I think sets me apart. I'm not just a realtor that has a lot of experience and been in the game for a while and have done a lot of transactions, so I'm well-versed in the real estate business. But I also bring to the table the lending side of it. I know mortgages. I've had a mortgage business at a mortgage company, and so I understand mortgages, and I'm on top of my game with that. Not only, when I talk to different lenders that are part of my sphere of influence, right, sometimes I have to kind of educate them a little bit because I know they're new to it. They've been in business a couple of years, but I'm old school. I know a lot, and I stay on top of my game. Right. So I bring to the table not just the real estate experience, but I also bring the lending background experience. Right. I'll tell you what else I bring. I also bring the insurance side of the business. I don't do it. Maybe I don't even know if you know this, Ignacio, or not, but I'm also licensed to do personal lines, life and health insurance. I don't sell it. I don't really push it because I'm busy with my real estate. Right. But I know that part of the business. Right. So when people are like, what about a claim on the property? How's that going to affect my purchase? Right. Or when we get what is called a letter of experience, or the claim history report when you're buying a property, because it's important you get that before you buy a property or make an offer to see if there's any issues, because that could affect getting that property insured. So I bring that experience. I also bring a strong marketing background experience. Right. So I know a lot about marketing, right? I've been doing it for years, and I think that's what's made me a very strong realtor, that I have a lot of different experiences, but I've been doing this for many years that I have a lot of that in me, right?
And it's really, really, really hard to find a realtor that has that much knowledge and background and experience, right?
Right, absolutely.
And every realtor is going to try to help as much. That's their fiduciary duty, right?
Sure.
To help the client and make sure that that they're taken care of in that sense.
Well, and let me add something else, because I think it's important for the listener to know is I'm adding my resume to this of what I know, so people know my background. Another thing I want them to know as far as my background, I have strong negotiating skills, right?
Nice.
So I know how to negotiate a transaction to get what's best for the seller
Right.
or the buyer,
Right.
right? I bring that to the table. Now, everyone's going to say, I have I have all these experiences, but what counts is the volume.
Right.
What do you bring to the table? What's the proof in the pudding, right?
Right.
So I bring that. And to close it off, I also bring my partnership experience that I have with the people in this industry, right? So things that I bring to the table to help that sale or help that buyer to this property. So there's a lot to it. I would say to the listener, if you want to know more about me and you really want to get a good background on me so I can help you with anything that you need, you got to reach out to me because we can't do it all. And we've been talking for the last 20 minutes. We can't do this in 20 minutes. Right.
It's not enough time. Now, if someone is thinking about buying or selling, how should they contact you, or what should they know, or what's the next step?
Well, pretty simple. Multiple ways. So one is you can give me a call directly. Love it. Best way to do it. I'd rather you call me than you text me. Right? People like to get texts. I'm old school, man.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a call, man. I'd like to talk to you. That's how I built my relationship with people. Easy. 623-670-4831.
What was that number again?
Don't be calling me. 623-670-4831. You could email me, Jesse Moreno, AZ@gmail. Real simple. JESSEMORENO, AZ as Arizona @gmail. You could reach out and you could find me at my YouTube channel. Yep. That's another way, right? The Closing Room AZ, all one word. The Closing Room AZ, all one word. Look for the white logo. Boom, click there. You'll see my email address. You'll see my phone number. Reach out to me.
They got to make sure that they subscribe too, so that they can start getting those.
Thanks for the
those
plug
videos, man.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, if you're gonna go to my YouTube channel, you gotta subscribe. You gotta like my videos. You gotta leave me comments. That's important too. Leave me as much comments as you like, and either my son, Joshua Moreno, or myself will answer them. Right. Just so you guys know, I didn't. A quick plug on him. He's also a realtor and investor. In fact, he's a
really
fantastic
cool dude, man. Really cool dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
He's a great investor. Yeah. I wanted him today. I was like, hey, come, get down here today, but he couldn't make it. And I'm gonna tell you why he couldn't make it. Besides the fact that I always bust his chops a little bit because he doesn't want to come out here all the way out here. But he's actually today doing a property that he's invested in, an investment property. So we had gone down together, me and him, a little while ago to the bank to take out some cash that he's doing for a renovation deal on an investment property. So he's a top investor in the business. On top of that, top realtor. He's always,
he's really good at what he does, man.
He's 5%. He's the top 5% agent here in Arizona. That's awesome. On listings.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the kid's just a smart kid, man. And I'm glad he's part of my team. We're part of a group called the Moreno Group. Yeah. So that's our real estate side, the Moreno Group. But other than that, man, hopefully I answered some of your good questions. Those are good questions.
You did, man. You did. So now I got to know a little bit more about you. You know what I mean? Now I can kind of put together why you know so much, man. I'm like, dude, this guy knows everything, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so
I appreciate that.
That's awesome, brother.
No,
I appreciate you sharing about yourself, background, your faith, your experience. So hopefully whoever watches this, whether it's someone looking to buy or sell, that they reach out to you, that they feel like they can work with you, or if it's a realtor that is looking for some inspiration and guidance, man, that maybe you can be that person that can kind of be like, they could be like, oh,
there's our timer. We got to finish.
But hopefully that helps someone out. So
yeah, for sure. Awesome. I am here for that, and I'm glad you plugged that in, man, because in this business, whether you're working for a different agency that I am, you know what? It's all about working as one unit, and it's great to share information and help each other out. Right. You never know when we're going to cross path in a transaction, and I've done it with multiple times with other agents. We're like, hey, we worked on this deal 4 years ago. Remember that? And blah blah. And they remember what they remembered most out of all this, Ignacio. Is they remember the collaboration and the friendship that we built through the transaction. Because I'll leave one advice, maybe if you want to call it that, for realtors for the most part, man. It's this: there's no need to take it personal. It's just business. Right. but attitude and personality has a long way to go in what we do.
Right.
And that's just, people remember that. People know. I remember talking to you, man. You were just a pleasant agent to work with.
Right.
Compared to when you say, you were that one crappy agent I just don't want to deal with. You know what I'm
Believe
saying?
me, bro, you don't understand how many times I hear agents be like, "Oh,
So-
I don't want to work with that person again," But you're right, man, and I think that goes across the industry, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Personality,
Absolutely.
attitude, the way you treat others is big, man. I'm a big believer in treat others how you want to get treated.
Yep, absolutely.
Expect back what you give out, and so awesome, man.
Cool. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for asking me these questions. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a bit, and I think we should maybe do another one because there's more information I think that
Definitely,
I like
man.
to share that perhaps you had
Yeah.
ready to,
Yeah. I wasn't even done with my
Not even
questions
done.
here, bro. Like I'm like trying to swipe and it's you know what I mean? But absolutely, man. We got to do another one, man.
All right. Well, hey, you guys, thank you so much for, staying with us, hanging out in our podcast here. Hopefully you guys were able to learn a little bit about myself on the personal side and on the professional side. If you guys need any assistance in the near future, please make sure you reach out. Let me know. Love to help you out. And most importantly, leave some comments on this podcast so we could answer them and assist you with that. Other than that, thank you for hanging out once again. And remember, set no limits.